Hey, Coach, you got anything you want to say to your fans or anything?
Anything
Right now? You want to say anything to your fans right now?
I'm good. Come on, Paul.
But here's where things start to get interesting, and I don't think a lot of people knew Arkansas, they had this in their arsenal. This information didn't get leaked out to the public, I don't know how, but John Calipari went golfing with this guy only a couple of weeks ago. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the next day following that crazy night that we had yesterday involving no other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Calipari. If you didn't see last night's video, or I believe technically we got it uploaded at 12:30 a.m., so it was early this morning's video, but you get the point. We basically just talked about the breaking news involving John Calipari leaving Kentucky, and he's going to Arkansas. And all day long, dating back to late last night, early this morning, I've been following this situation closely, and I've been waiting for an official announcement, but as when I'm speaking and making this video, nothing official has came out quite just yet. Which to me I would say is odd, because when I was talking about this situation late last night, I stated that I thought they might finalize the deal last night, and if they don't get it done last night, they're going to do it early this morning, but obviously that hasn't happened. So a lot of people are questioning this, and I do think it's strange that the official announcement hasn't came out just quite yet, but at this point in time, there's absolutely no chance that John Calipari doesn't go to Arkansas. It's happening, so I don't think you need to worry about that. I did want to clarify on that before we got any farther. Now, in today's video, what we're here to talk about is the reason as to why John Calipari is going to Arkansas. And there's not just one, but there's multiple reasons for this, and one of those reasons includes a big chunk of NIL money. We're going to talk all about that, but also we got to take a look at a video that we have from John Calipari and what he had to say, and this whole video itself, it's weird to say the least, and a lot of people, they have mixed feelings and emotions about it. Some people don't like this video, and I understand the perspective, and I understand why. As always, if you like basketball content, football content, sports content in general, consider subscribing to the channel. It helps us out tremendously. If you don't want to subscribe, that's cool too, but alright, man, blah, 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 shut the crap up, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, we're jumping straight into it. Let's take a look at the juicy stuff first, and that's no other than this video. So early this morning, to everybody's surprise, John Calipari, he was found walking outside of his house this morning with his dog. And I guess you'd say it's puzzled a lot of people, because he is arguably the most talked about man in America right now. And he's just going about his day like nothing's happening and nothing's going on. So let me show you this clip. It's definitely interesting.
Hey, Coach, you got anything you want to say to your fans or anything? Anything right now? You want to say anything to your fans right now?
I'm good. Come on, Paul.
Alright, I'm going to pause it right here, and I should have said this earlier. I haven't even seen this video clip myself. I saw like the first 5 seconds of it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to save my reaction for this video like we're currently doing. And my immediate reaction is, first things first, John Calipari is a way better man than myself, because if you come up to me in my neighborhood in front of my house while I'm walking my dog and start asking me questions like that, I'm not even responding. I'm acting like you're not there. And I'll talk more about that in just a second, but let's continue to see what the rest of this video's got in store for us.
Come on. My dog is walking me. Come on.
Okay, I guess that was it. There wasn't too much after that or anything at all, but man, what about those houses? What neighborhood is that? Those houses are massive. Those are mansions. And I don't know where John Calipari lives, but I'm going to assume, number one, this is in his neighborhood, and number two, it's in front of his house or close to his house. The only thing I think is weird from this video, and it's my biggest question, is I'm not too sure what is that a dog stroller? It just looks like a baby stroller to me. I don't know what that's for. I guess that's for the dog if he wants to ride in it, or is John Calipari pushing a nerd dog in it? I don't know. I didn't see a nerd dog in it. And the only reason I'm even bringing up this video is because you got people quote tweeting it, saying stuff like this, and it's going viral all over Twitter. The audacity to walk your dog in a stroller down a busy road when you know dang well you're the most talked about man in the state at the moment is incredible. This is how I'll choose to remember him. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say Kentucky fans, they're not too pleased with this video, and they're somewhat pissed off. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't understand why, because I understand exactly what point he's making. It's looking like, and it's coming off as, to these people in their eyes, that John Calipari, he's just seeking out attention because he knows dang well if he leaves his house, there's going to be cameras everywhere and people coming up to him. I get that. I really do. But to me, this is how I view it. You see the tweet right here where it states the audacity you have to walk your dog. Well, I'm looking at it like this. The audacity you have to even be pissed off that John Calipari is walking his dog in front of his house is crazy to me. It's ludicrous. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing? I love sports as much as anybody else, if not more. We have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to it. But life doesn't stop for sports. And what I mean by that is guys like John Calipari, Nick Saban, anybody you look up to, they're normal people like me and you. I know that's hard to comprehend because we only, for the most part, see these guys on the television screen, but at the end of the day, they do normal things too. Here would be my question to this tweet and all these Kentucky fans that are upset about this video. What do you expect John Calipari to do? Do you expect him to just hide in his office, hide in his house until all this blows over? I don't think that's fair. And y'all know this. I have been a professional Calipari hater these past 4 years or so, but no, I'm all for this. And I'll actually clap it up and applaud John Calipari for this. Live your life, bro. I'm rooting for you. It'd be different if my guy was walking his dog around the Kentucky basketball arena or gym. That's different. He's doing this in his neighborhood, at least from my knowledge. I just can't get over that, man. You got these people on Twitter going, man, what a dirtbag. I can't believe he's walking his dog. The audacity. Bro, what are we talking about? I could talk about that video for the next 10 to 15 minutes, but we gotta get a move on and talk about smart things. For starters, let's talk about this. For those of you that haven't heard the news, and I know it's not finalized just quite yet, but it's looking like Calipari, he's gonna get $8 million per year at Arkansas, which is a big chunk of change. But here's where things start to get interesting, and I don't think a lot of people knew Arkansas, they had this in their arsenal. When we talk about the SEC and NIL, you immediately think of schools like now, because Texas and Oklahoma are coming in, Texas, Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, schools like that. You don't really associate the NIL with Arkansas. That team doesn't come to mind. But believe it or not, they're right up there with the schools I just named off and listed. Arkansas can compete with dang near anybody in the NIL department if they're motivated enough and they choose to. Now, I know what you may be sitting there saying, well, Matt, why is that the case or how is that the case? And that is because the headquarters of Walmart is located down in Arkansas. To go on top of that, you know those dino chicken nuggets that your kid loves to eat? That's also located down in Arkansas. And this is a quote coming from ESPN themselves. The key relationship that helped the deal come together was Calipari's long-standing ties to John H. Tyson. Why should that name ring a bell? Because John H. Tyson is the grandson of John W. Tyson, who founded Tyson Foods, more importantly, Tyson Chicken Nuggets. In other terms to dumb this down here, Calipari is friends with an Arkansas billionaire who doesn't mind giving them a couple $1 million extra here and there. And what's even more interesting about all this, and this information didn't get leaked out to the public, I don't know how, but John Calipari went golfing with this guy only a couple of weeks ago. How do I know that? Well, let's just say your boy Matt has some pretty good sources and reliable sources around the SEC. And there's many more things I could tell you, but the whole gist of this is John Calipari and John Tyson, they're friends. And according to other sources out here, Calipari is going to have, quote unquote, at least $5 million at his disposal annually with the Razorbacks when it comes to the NIL department. If you're confused as to what that means, well, it's big time for recruiting because he can just pretty much give away and this is at least $5 million to all these recruits every year. And a lot of people are going to see that 5 million number and they're not actually going to know how huge and insane that is, because normally when we talk about the NIL, we talk about college football, and I'll explain to you why it's different. In college football, you have, I believe, 85 players on a roster. So $5 million spread out evenly, or not evenly, but spread out to your big-time players on an 85-man roster doesn't go very far. Well, this isn't football, guys. This is basketball. And you only have about, 12, 13 guys on the roster, and only about 7 or 8 of those guys are even playing. Essentially speaking here, you're going to be able to give every single player on your team $1 million, or every single big-time player. I think it goes without being said, that is huge, and that played into his decision quite a bit, at least in my humble opinion. And you see people trying to overcomplicate these things, but guys, I think this is relatively simple. I stated this in the video last night. John Calipari, number one, he was clawing at the fence at any opportunity to leave Kentucky because he knows he's not wanted there, and nobody wants to be at a place or in a place where they're not wanted. Reason number two as why Calipari left, he knows it's time to move on. It just wasn't working out. He needs a fresh start. And here's where we start to get into the reasons as to why he chose Arkansas, because everybody's asking that question. Well, in the previous years, he had NBA teams wanting him, like the Lakers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, etc., and he's leaving Kentucky, a top-tier program, To go to Arkansas? Why would he do that? And it's a fair question. It's extremely reasonable, and I have a great answer for you. Arkansas fans love basketball. They love it to death, but they're not lunatics like Kentucky basketball fans, and I mean that respectfully. I really do admire any fan base that is passionate about any sport, but Kentucky basketball fans, they're ridiculous. It's to another level. It's top notch. When it comes to college basketball, Kentucky fans take a backseat to absolutely nobody. And when you have these fans that have insane expectations like Kentucky fans have, and I'm not saying they shouldn't have these expectations, they should, it's hard on you. And with Calipari going to Arkansas, even though Arkansas fans love basketball, he can kind of breathe a little bit, because even if they go, let's say 20-11 next year, 19-11, 19-12, something along those lines, I don't think the fans are going to be too upset. They're not going to be calling for his job or anything like that. And I'm going to go back to this because it's an important factor. With the Dino Chicken Nugget man backing him 10,000%, it makes it even better. I have hated on Calipari these past 4 years, but with him going to Arkansas, I'm starting to like him. And it's almost reminded me of a Walter White situation from Breaking Bad. Not exactly, and I don't think that's the greatest comparison out there, but it's almost like I'm rooting for him, even when I probably shouldn't be. And I think why I'm starting to turn a new page on Calipari is the same thing with Walter White. Nobody liked him. Nobody wanted him to succeed. And I root for guys like that. And you know, the more I think about it, I think the Walter White comparison is pretty solid, because Walter White was also a master manipulator and narcissist, kind of like Calipari here. What a time, though, seriously, to be an SEC fan for any sport. I'm relishing this. In football, Nick Saban's gone. Alabama's got a new head coach. Who knows how that's going to turn out? In basketball, Alabama's a powerhouse now. Not a powerhouse, but they've had a couple of good seasons. And now Kentucky, they don't have a head coach. Arkansas's got Calipari. It is a wild time, okay? A wild time to be an SEC sports fan. And despite what anybody says, whether you like this or not, you can't deny this. It's great for the conference. Many more things I could say. I'll end it off there. As always, let me know your thoughts down below. But, roll, man.